Hi guys, and welcome to my Happy New Year update video. I'm Zurfall, and today we're going to be talking about a few things with the channel. I don't normally do these update videos, but I figured it's a new year, start fresh, and let's kick things off on the right foot. There's been a distinct lack of videos lately on the channel, and I've been trying to get at least one up a week, at least two, if not the two, at least one um, every week. But every year in December this happens to me. I don't get a backlog done up ahead of time, and I end up just falling behind. I can't keep up with the videos because of, travel, family events, work events, all that sort of crap that keeps you busy in the holidays. But that is over now. Holidays are done. It's a new year, and we should get things back on the road. A couple other reasons why things slowed down a little bit. A friend have introduced me to League of Legends lately, and that kind of slowed video production as well, as I got hooked on that game for a bit. I don't play it near as much as I used to, so hopefully that's not going to be so much in the way. I just do a little bit of ARAMing every once in a while now. And I've been watching a lot of other people's videos and live streams lately. Speaking of the live streams, New Year, got my beard all trimmed short. I was giving Lethal Feline a hard time for getting his big bushy beard going, but leaving his mustache kind of trimmed up. And now I can't say anything about it because I got mine all trimmed up for the new year. I might post a couple pictures up in this zone here, with how big my beard got. It was actually kind of ridiculous, but I thought it was fun for a winter beard. But getting back on track, the one video I've been trying to make sure I get done every week for sure is the Commodore 64 Sundays, which have been going really well. I'm really happy with how they've been turning out. There should be some games coming up soon that I can do some collab with, get a couple extra people on the channel, and show off some of these games. The Commodore 64 was the first real gaming. It wasn't a gaming system, it was a computer system, but let's face it, it was mainly a gaming system for most people. And it was the first one I ever had, so it's really fun for me to look back at some of these games, especially the ones I actually remember, and play through them. And these games that I've never heard of that are just mind-blowingly good for the time, where other ones where it's like, how did this even get in the top 100? I don't even know. Some of that's all just other people's nostalgia from playing the game back in the day. So that's been going well. Kid Dracula's going pretty good. The Pharaoh boss was super cheap style. It was giving me a hard time. I had to read an FAQ about that, but I guess you'll see that tomorrow when that video posts. So now that Pharaoh boss is out of the way, that game's going to be swimming along pretty fine. Leisure Suit Larry, unfortunately, the last episode, half the footage got lost of one episode. Like halfway through the video, something crapped out in the file afterwards. It's corrupt, and I only have half a video file. So the Clinch and I are going to have to record that again. But speaking of that, this was all actually the Clinch's sort of idea for a new ongoing series he wants to do with me called Zurfall After Dark, where we play games that are a little more risque, a little more controversial, not just for sexual content like Leisure Suit Larry, but just games that were sort of controversial back in the day. Because it's funny, because some games that were controversial back in the day would be considered, run of the mill now. Actually, Leisure Suit Larry, the original one, is not all that. It's not all that bad. It's got some product of the time racism in it, and it's got, which doesn't make it any better that it's product of the time, but it's not super blatant evil sort of racism, and it's got clearly a sexual nature to it, but even that isn't very crazy of a thing. There's censor bars. The amount of skin shown in the game isn't really that bad compared to some of the stuff you see nowadays. But if anyone has any good ideas for games that might fit into that category, just let me know in the comments, because we've got a couple ideas, but we actually don't have a really deep pool of good ideas for this, because we don't want to go too far and just do games that are just blatantly, straight up like, oh yeah, this was the Commodore 64, strip poker, ha ha ha, let's play that game. But if you know of any games that seem like they'd fit right in there, just let me know about it, and chances are we'll give it a try. Coming up in the new year, I'm going to start a series on Chaos Seed. I've played this game a tiny bit. It's recently had a update to the translation. It's a game that came out in Japan. Played a little bit off screen. It seems like a really fun game. It's a game where it's a dungeon building game for the SNES, where you're trying to restore the Earth. But it's kind of funny too, because we'll get into it more in the game, but you're restoring the Earth. You're trying to to put energy back into the earth. But in order to do this, you build these dungeons and mine energy and put it into the earth's core to fix it up. But people in the area, because there's a few people like you that are baddies, think you're bad and they come to try to destroy your dungeon. So the people you're actually trying to help are fighting against you, and the solution isn't like, oh, we'll just trick them into going the other way. It's you actually beat them up while they're in your dungeon. So it seems like it has a pretty cool story going on. It seems like it's a little bit outside the box, just like most of the games that didn't make it over here. So it should be a really fun series. In the same vein, I haven't played Treasure of Ruda in a while, and one of my resolutions is to really get that game done this year. So I'm going to try to plow through some of that, at least get one more scenario done before it goes on a bit of another hiatus, maybe. It's a good game. It's got a good story. It just kind of drags on a little bit. It's one of those games that's hard to get into. And once you're into it, you can play it for a while, but you know, we already kind of know the story pretty much because we saw it from one point of view, and you're playing it from another point of view, and that's neat. But, you know, there's just other games that I feel like I'd really like to play. So look forward to that sometime in the future. Definitely get it completely done this year at some point in time. The other thing that's going on is right now I'm playing Uncharted Waters with Bobo the Vulture over on his channel. We're playing Otto Baines, I believe his name is, Otto Baines' story. And it's been pretty fun so far, and that's something that is going to be on his channel, so you have to go over there and check it out. I suggest you do. Catalina's scenario is obviously on my channel, and there's actually one of Ernst's scenario already on Bobo's channel if you haven't seen that. So I'll probably have an annotation that links to his channel, at least the first episode of the Otto Baines story. The other thing that's going on is I've got a little bit of a new project with one of my work friends that's going to be, it's a bit of a secret still. It should be launching sometime in February is what we're hoping for. And it is board game related. So look forward to that. I'll be linking to it. It's not going to be on this channel, but it's a pretty fun little secret project coming up. The last thing I want to talk about is the Amiga I got. So I was at World of Commodore 2014. I'm definitely going back to World of Commodore 2015 if they're having one. So that's a year away, but if you remember by then this video, then I'll probably be at World of Commodore 2015. I keep looking down to the right here because that's where I have this Amiga I got, and I'm looking forward to doing some Amiga games. I can actually, I'm waiting for a S-video cable for it so I can plug it into my capture device, but it's got, well, do you know what? I got a bunch of games here. These are games, I picked up a huge disc box of games. These are what they come on. The old floppy disks like this. The floppy disk aspect is clearly inside there. These games, these discs are dated. Let's see if I can get this to show up on the screen. Kind of. I don't know if you can read that, but it's 1989 is when somebody made this disc. So for $5, I got a whole case of games. Out of that case, this is how many worked right off the bat. We found a disk utility online, my brother and I, we spent a lot of time fiddling around with it. A disk utility online that actually lets us repair disks and pull stuff off of them. One of the interesting disks I had, I don't know if it's on my desk right now, was a disc with a blank label on it, but it had a label underneath it too, and I was like, what is underneath that label? I kind of held it up to the light, and it said XXX rated. And it was a corrupted disc. We were like, what the heck is on here? It was a pretty ridiculous thing. It turned out to be pretty much an animated GIF that took a minute and 45 seconds to load, but it was pretty hilarious to see. But I got Test Drive here, Formula One Grand Prix, Roller Coaster Rumble, which is actually kind of a neat game. This is Hardball, baseball game. Marauder 2, which is actually a copy program for stealing things, and this is a copy of Police Quest that somebody stole back in the day. So the reason why I kind of want to hit on that too is A, if you know any really great Amiga games, let me know about them because I want to check them out. And B, this is how I connect my Amiga to my modern PC. I know Trev Miss Prime's going to be interested in this. He told me to tweet a picture of it, but I figured this would be the easiest way to do it. So this is my USB. It goes USB to serial port, which locks into a serial port wire. And that wire goes way, way, way back. Pretty long wire. All the way to this end, which is a serial port. But of course, the Amiga does not take these 9-pin serial ports. They take one of these 23-pin or 25 pin serial ports. So it goes, I mean, you have like decades of different technology here in adapters, but they all still work together once you plug them in. This lets you transfer over serial cable files at like 100 kilobytes a minute. Super slow, but you know, you set it up, walk away, come back, and you've got some original Amiga file software on your computer. And you can play the stuff. So the only thing I'm waiting for is this S-video cable so I can play in color. Should be super fun. Those are the big key things that are happening in the next year. 2014 was a fun year for all these LPs. I had a great time with it. I love that there's more people actually interacting on the videos and everything now. So that is awesome. I'd like to thank everybody for watching that's been watching. We're up to 780 subscribers or so right now, which is pretty crazy. Now I know a lot of those people aren't really watching the videos anymore, considering the view counts, but it's not a big deal. It's just nice to see new people joining in, actually joining in the conversation, telling me about their past memories with these games as well, which is the whole reason why I do this channel. Everything's retro. I just love the past of video games. I think it's great fun, and I'm glad that so many people are kind of getting involved in it now too. So thanks for watching, thanks for your support, and let's make 2015 a really fun year.